So, I know that a lot of people have seen me here running around passing out cards, but this is definitely just from me. This isn't from our group. I am part of the group, but this is definitely my opinion. Our group's very diverse, just like this room is. And we welcome anyone to come and experience that. And I got a couple pictures here. You know, I've been a photographer pretty much all my life. And this one here says a lot about our town. This is what our town's all about, right? It's the octopus down there at the Marine Hatfield Center that every kid sees when they're a kid, and they come, and that's what this town's about. There's some other pictures here which I'm not sure really reflect our town very well. So what I have here is a picture of Coos Bay on the right. It's kind of small, so I'll pass it around. And I got a picture of our bay that I took today because it was such a beautiful, nice day out there. So here you can see the NOAA docks, we see the jetty. So there's kind of a little juxtaposition there. And I'm going to start with that. This other picture here, it's not so pretty. I'm going to end with that. So I came to you today as a concerned Oregon salmon and steelhead fisherman. On Sunday, a friend and I went up to the Slets River Gorge to go fishing. What we encountered up on the top of the mountain was frightening. It was total devastation of the landscape. We drove for about 40 minutes from Moonshine Park up to the top. I remarked about how little color was in the clear cuts. They looked like a graveyard, gray and lifeless. Then I remembered that clear cuts are all aerial sprayed with pesticides to keep the undergrowth down. As we drove, I realized that the timber company had cut down almost all the trees that were of age of harvest. There's nothing left up there but barren landscapes and small dug firs in tree farms. When we arrived at the fishing hole, which is below the Siletz Falls, I noticed that they had cut the entire hillside above where we were fishing. Is this legal? How can we treat our prime salmon and steelhead habitat this way? My fishing buddy, who's a commercial salmon fisherman, says to me, "This is why there's no salmon in the ocean to catch." Salmon is our livelihood, not just in the ocean for commercial fishermen, but the river guides, the hotels, bait shops, fuel depots, grocery stores, mom and pops, Logston store. I could go on forever. The town of Toledo, Siletz, and Newport all get part or all of their water supply from this river. The river is being poisoned by aerial spraying and the massive amounts of silt that flow down from the clear cuts. This river is the lifeblood of our county. Why are we not protecting our fishing economy and waterways from unsustainable logging practices? Are the same anything goes tactics going to be used to cut Northwest timber that is sent to China through the Teven Brothers facility? I'm not against logging. I grew up outside of Willamina, Oregon. I saw the good old days of logging. Old growth logs on trucks going down the road, heading to a local mill. These days, things are different. The mills are closing, people are desperate. The system is to blame. When large timber companies get subsidized by local taxpayers and state governments to ship to China, something is very wrong. Why should we pay the price so that Teven Brothers can make a profit? What do we get out of this? And I feel for you, gentlemen, 20 jobs, which are not even guaranteed to go to our local longshoremen. That is just not enough. As Newport residents, we all pay our fair share of property taxes to the community. Our taxes will pay for their roads, the wear and tear of multiple arterial highways coming into Moore Road. We lost a member of our port, and he shared with us that You know, it could be up to 200 trucks a day going down John Moore Road. That's if the Alcan project goes through. 50 for Teven, 150 for Alcan. That's 400 trips up and down John Moore Road. That's almost a truck every minute for 6 hours. Why don't the Teven brothers have to pay any taxes on their exporting facility? The perception is that this project will bring much needed money to our schools and local economy. We won't see any benefit to our community from tax money accrued from Teven Brothers' business in our town because there will be none. Why? Well, they're going to be leasing port property, and they do not pay property taxes on port property. Okay, well, that's what I thought. So hold on, I'm still going.
Folks, please hold your comments. We will allow you to address anything that Rio has spoken to.
Well, I got about another 4 paragraphs. Okay, so that was at the port meeting. This is our meeting. Why should the Teven brothers rent the port property only be trade? Why should the rent that the Teven brothers pay for port property only be trade for improvements they make to the property? When our city and port are destitute of money, trying to sell buildings like the VAC to balance the budget. And this is the property they are renting to make a profit on. The reality is that we as a community sacrifice and contribute towards the funding of this project. The Teven brothers and a few handful of individuals profit. The cons outweigh the pros. I urge all of you to come together tonight. We must work with each other to fix the system. I wanted to skip this part because it's a little inflammatory and I was asked not to say it, so I'll skip down to here. Where is all the profit going? That's a very important question to me and I think the people in this room.
I'll ask you one more time to follow by the rules, ma'am. Thank you.
The port are elected officials, yet they don't listen to the people. They listen to out-of-town Wall Street firms that call themselves a timber management company. Where is all the profit going? It is going to Wall Street and their investors. They give us nothing except a poison bay, poison Siletz River, and a giant 600-foot ship that shows up every month, loads all of our logs on it, and steals our livelihoods. Here is the picture of the Siletz. This right here is Logston. This right here is the Alsea Falls. The Siletz Falls. This is the road I took. It wanders up here, and it comes up here, and you can see the river because there's only the river left. There's only this 100-foot swath on either side of the river.
Wrap this up. We have to wrap this up.
That was it.
All right. There was considerable amount of interest in Rio. Please hold any applause or interest that you have. There's considerable amount of interest in some of the comments that Rio compassionately just gave, and I know some of you guys want to speak to that. I'm going to ask that please contain your passion a little